There's a couple of checks I think on Will Fish this afternoon, and Ryan Wintle got a bang in the first half. Perry Ng is getting closer to a return, but not there yet. And Alex Robertson is almost on a par with Perry in terms of timescale. So hopefully those two will. Well, Perry is back in full training. Alex isn't, but I think Alex will come back in on Monday, Tuesday, and both will be available hopefully for the game against Luton. It is, isn't it?
I think that's probably the most physical. I think I've had it. You get it with a few teams in the Championship. But yeah, it was tough against Port Vale. They made it tough for us, and I think it showed us. Not every game's gonna plan out, or teams won't let us play how we want to play all the time. But I think for us, frustrating and disappointing Thursday it was still good to come away with a clean sheet in the end and a point.
We're going to play against a team who have a lot of experienced players, a lot of experience in that camp, probably the opposite of where we're at. Players that I played against myself and former teammates of mine, probably getting towards the last of those, but there is teammates of mine in their squad, and they'll be very aware of what our strengths are, but they'll be very confident in providing us with a test that they believe we won't be able to cope with. But we have to show that we've improved since Port Vale in that understanding. I'm not saying Rotherham are the same as Port Vale, but you know what I mean. The challenge is going to be similar, and we have to show that we've improved from week 1 to week 3, whatever it is now, and those steps will be important for us to gradually sort of increase all through the season.
I think it'll be a physical game again. Probably similar to Port Vale. I think they're a back five as well. I think it was good the other night that we could play against another back five in Swindon and try and put right some of the things we didn't quite get right against Port Vale on Thursday.
I think day by day they're improving. I think obviously the results at the start of the season have been very pleasing. But for us and myself, the focus is purely on today, to train well today, and then tomorrow to give ourselves a chance to play well on Saturday, in what is going to be a stern examination of how good we want to be.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. From the first day coming in pre-season, it felt like a really refreshing feeling around the place, and really positive. And yeah, like I said, in pre-season we had a lot of wins, unbeaten in pre-season and still unbeaten going into the fourth game now.
Experience can manifest itself in a lot of different ways, and like the more that our players are exposed to those challenges, the more they'll grow. Like I said, that's why I'm not trying to play down expectations, but I think there has to be an understanding that these players will go through different ups and downs during the season. But I'm very pleased with the squad, and players that we add to the squad will be to bring in particular qualities that we feel are important for the squad. But the age of those players will not be part of, I suppose, the key decision-making process.
I'd like to get more goals and assists. I think that's something I want to work on this season. I wanted to do it last season, but playing centre-back, it was tough. But already this season, I feel with that licence and freedom I've got, I'm already getting into better positions and higher positions to create them chances.
I always kind of say that those things are very important for him. It's very important for me to display those things and get in the team. He has to defend properly, and defend and improve his defending 1v1 and be part of a strong unit that becomes very hard to play against. And all of those things are very important in terms of the overall package of the players. There's not one thing that's more important for me than the other. Essentially, he has to be able to attack and assist, but he also has to defend 1v1 and be part of a strong defensive unit. And that's the same for Ronan, for Perry, and for all the other players who play in that last line. So he has to be focused on improving all of the aspects of his game and not one or two, because we want the competition to be particularly strong in all areas of the pitch. And I suppose since Callum left, Joel has been probably our standout left back because of him being, I suppose, the only left-footed player there. So he has to feel that sense of being competitive to maintain his chance to play in the team, and I'm sure he does.
First and foremost, my job is to defend and make sure I do that right. With this gaffer coming in, I do feel like I've got more licence and freedom to get forward. He says the best way to defend is to attack and take the wingers back that way. And he has the trust in the two centre-backs behind you that they can play man for man, which gives you that sort of freedom then to get forward and you haven't got to worry about what's behind you.
We're all clear at this club we want to be competitive and try and win games as much as possible. But I think if you look after the simplest form of improvement in yourself is trying to improve every single day, and if the players improve every single day, and we believe they will, in our environment, then the team becomes much stronger and it allows us to win. Because we're not losing sight of the fact at this club that we want to win games. But really, we believe wholeheartedly in the idea of improving all the players individually and seeing them and seeing that they feel as if we are invested in that. And then if they get that sense of, I suppose, a commitment from us as staff to improve them individually, they know the benefits of them staying here become much greater in actions rather than just words. There'll be a lot of words where we say we're really committed to improving you individually, but the proof's in the pudding, and how much work as a staff there and as a club we're willing to invest in that, and understand if we go through tough periods or individually and collectively where we lose games, that our focus remains really clear on investing in these players for the future, because the large majority of our squad are so young that it isn't going to be plain sailing for them, and the exposure they're getting in terms of game time means that their ups and downs will be more regular than what they've been used to. So we just have to be really mindful of that as we push them into tougher examinations as we go game to game.